Thank you, President Nate. If you'd bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, thank you that you are God and that you're a good God and that you can be trusted in the midst of all of these turbulent times and worldwide in our communities and also in our very lives. Father, we pray for the families of those who've lost loved ones due to terrorist attacks and the pandemic, and for those who are even right now fighting for their very lives. We ask that you be with them and comfort them by your Spirit. Help us, God, as Rotarians, to be responsive and take action here in Lakeland and other global service projects abroad. We pray that you bless this food and this program today, and that you bless our service, God, to our families, in our relationships, and to our community. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Gwen. And now for our introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians, Rick Maxey.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Here. Can you use that? This one. All right.
So now we have Marsha Lee with a guest.
Please help me welcome my friend David Frack. Stand up. David is a veteran Marine and a Christian rock band performer, and he and his wife Debbie are CEOs, executive directors of Legal Shield Business Solutions.
You're welcome. Stephanie Cologne.
My guest today is Tanya Eisman. She is my friend, my coworker, my leader, my mentor, and she is our market president with Prime Meridian Bank. Be nice to her.
Thank you. And our immediate past district governor.
I have Steve Wagner as my guest today. He's at South State Bank.
And Carol.
Today, for the last time, Cody Cheek is my guest, and that's not because he doesn't want to come back, but because he's going to be inducted today. With this Board of Credit Union.
Thank you, and Cody's bossy program statement. We have guest Rotarians, Debbie Began. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. And is it Gary Ratcliffe? Hey, how are you?
They let her out of the villages.
Welcome. And that's it, Mr. President.
All right, now Jack Lohman with Happy Dollars.
All right, I'll start off today. I was so happy to walk in. First person I saw was Gay Ratcliffe, so it's always great to have past President Gay back with us today. Thank you for being here. Who else is happy? Jean Wright is happy.
Thank you. In case you missed me on your way in, first of all, I will get you a saying I don't. Okay? Second of all, I'm so honored and proud to be trying to get volunteers for our golf tournament. Pam Craven's on the committee, Dick Wycliffe's on the committee, and please, I'm asking nice. This is nice asking. My next step is begging. I can beg. And my last step is groveling. Please do not make me grovel. You won't like to see me. Anyway, think about sign up, free peanuts. To anybody who signs up, free peanuts. Thank you.
I have a check here for both my Rotary anniversary and also my birthday.
Sir.
Thank you, Phil.
Hello, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here to the Rotary Club of Lakeland. This is my first visit here, but it's just after I left. I promise you it won't be my last. So it's a pleasure to meet all of you, and I look forward to getting to know all of you much better. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited about United Way of Central Florida's campaign kickoff. It's virtual this year, happening on Thursday. So join us on Facebook and wear your United gear and help support our community to improve lives and all that we do.
Miss West Virginia.
No, thank you so much. $5. I've just missed this group and have to come back every now and then just to make sure you're taking care of yourself too.
Thank you.
Hey, so I just passed a very significant exam in my life, headed into the last semester of my MBA and looking to graduate in December. So that's got me really excited.
Joel, we don't accept change in the bucket.
Fine. As a show of a real lack of ambition, my wife and I are, on her part, my wife and I are celebrating 40 years this weekend.
God bless her.
Dan and I are excited that our daughter got engaged in Hawaii last week.
Yeah.
Back here before I walk to the front.
We're making money today.
Okay, so $1 for each of the last 40 years, because this is the last day of my working life.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
All right, now Mike Loudon with some singing.
Hello, people online. Vocalize now, hum along. Now, I get up here and you think, oh, it's going to be another old MacDonald had a farm. But the future district governor is with us. And I don't want you to think this is some rummy like Lions Club or like the downtown Tampa club, This is the Lakeland Rotary Club, and we sing class stuff, nothing but class. So please turn to number 35, which is found on page 49. The 49 is at the bottom, the 35 is at the top, and this is one of the class songs of all times. Are you ready at home? Here we go. Oh, you all know this. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. There's a second stanza. How often at night, when the heavens are bright with the light from the glittering stars, have I stood there amazed and asked how it gazed, if their glory extends that of ours. Home, home on the range, where the food that my wife cooks is strange. Since the cat disappeared, the stews tasted weird, and I want to meow all the day.
It's a tough act to follow. All right. Now we have some announcements, and we have quite a few today. So if the following people would start making their way up: Amanda Walls, Debbie Megan, Stephanie Colon, Jack Lohman, and Fred Oders.
Got here first, so I get to go first. How exciting. Okay, I am all revved up because I'm fresh off of attending the district membership foundation and public image convention or conference that was this past weekend, and I was there with Mike, and I was there with Rick and Marcia Leap, and we had a great time. And so what I want to do is take a few minutes to talk to you about public image and communications here at our club. And on your tables, I prepared a little page for you if you want to pick it up. And I think on Zoom, Irma gave you guys access. Just remind you that there are 6 primary ways that the club communicates with you and with the public. We have our club website, and there's a picture of what it looks like and how you can access it. We have 2 Facebook pages. There is a member-only Facebook group, which is intended for us to be able to communicate with one another as a group, and you can access that one there. Our member-only Facebook page only has 79 members in it, and we know that there's at least 170 people in our club. So please get the word out, encourage people to get into that Facebook group. That's where we just encourage one another, okay? Then we have our public-facing Facebook page, which is where we all tell the world what Rotary is all about, what Rotarians are, and how we do good in the world. So I encourage you all to like and share often our public-facing Facebook page. There's we have 711 followers on that. I think we could double it by the end of the year if we all just did a little bit of a push there so that the world can know the good that we do. By the way, on the members only Facebook page, that's the place where we put all of our weekly meetings are listed there. And so if you all wanted to just check in every week at the weekly meeting on that page, that would really help get the word out about Rotary and what we do. All right. We also have an Instagram account. So any of you that are Insta people, you can like and follow that one also. We only have 384 followers on that one. And we have our YouTube channel, which is where we record and post every week. We have our meetings posted up there. So if you missed one, you can go back and watch it if it's a speaker that you're interested in. If you want to share it with somebody that would be interested in Rotary, here's how you can access it. We only have 26 subscribers on our YouTube page. And Larry Becker puts in a heck of a lot of work putting those videos together for us. So I would really appreciate it if you all go like and share those a little bit more. And then finally, we have our weekly member bulletin. So this is a big task, public image and communications. And right now we're kind of running a 4-person show. It's me and Tyler Davis and Bill Sammons that helps with photography and Larry doing the videos, but we could really use some help. So on the back of your sheet, there are opportunities for you to get involved with public image and communications. We're looking for a press manager, really somebody that would be willing to write press releases and interface with the public media sources so that we can get our story out more. We need some social media wizards who really want to take charge of some of our events and run campaigns and social media campaigns. Photographers to help back Bill up so he doesn't have to be the only one. Videographers as well, and club communicators especially. We need some people that can help write the bulletin stories, shepherd that member-only Facebook page. So if you would be interested in any of these roles, we would love to have you on our team. I'm really proud that our club last year was one of just a handful in the district that actually received the zone level public image citation. And it's my goal for us to get that citation again this year. So please do join me if you're interested or have a capability or interest in this kind of work. You're one of the avenues of Rotary service is service to the club, and I would love to have you join me in this opportunity. Thank you.
I'm going to need an assistant. Just need you to hold that up. Okay, so do I need a microphone? Okay, so everybody can hear me. Who is a proud Rotarian in this room? I know this is an amazing club. I thought I was going to see every single hand. And how do we show that we're proud Rotarians? We wear our Rotary pin.
So now we have another exciting way, and I know that you guys, I think Irma has shared this information. We have a Rotary license plate that we're trying to roll out. The unfortunate thing is we only have 13 months to sell 3,000. We've been selling this license plate for a year, and we've only sold less than 500. If we do not sell 3,000 vouchers, this will never be made. Now, keep in mind, this was a 7-year project, so I'd hate for it to go away. So I know that there are a lot of you are waiting to purchase it, but I'm urging you, please purchase it today. It literally takes less than 2 or 3 minutes. All you need to do is go to the website, FloridaRotaryTag.com, FloridaRotaryTag.com. It's 2 clicks, driver's license, tag number, your credit card, and boom, you will get a voucher. And then in a year from October, you will get this beautiful license plate to display on the back of your car. Now, I know that you guys are really involved with Polio Plus, and there's only 2 cases of wild polio left. Imagine the news that's going to go out when the world discovers that Rotary eradicated polio. And then they see this license plate on the back of your car. Wow, that is just really huge just in terms of branding. I know Amanda talked to you about branding and public image. This is like the best way ever. You're driving your car. People are looking at that going, what's Rotary? Then tell me a little bit more about Rotary, or I saw that license plate. What is Rotary? So I urge everybody, we're just looking for 5 to 10 members per club to purchase one statewide, and we will meet our goal. And I will stay after. If anybody wants to purchase one today, I can make that happen. So if you have any questions, I'm going to hang around afterwards. Thank you.
Hey, y'all. So I am going to remind you, I am the social committee chair, and I have a great team who's prepared some events. So we're going to talk about these weekly or every other week so that we remind you if you don't get the emails. This Thursday is our annual college game day party over at JJ Weeks' house. Thank you, JJ, for continuing to host. The registration will probably end today. You can sign up at the back table with Eric, Beth, or Scott. Or online, for those of you who are not here in person. It's $10. It's going to cover your food and drink, and it's at JJ's house. All the details are online for his address, and it's this Thursday at 5:30. Next Tuesday is our fantasy football draft. It's going to be at the Federal Bar, 6 p.m. Bring a laptop, and it's $25 to buy in. On the 22nd, is the Rotary Golf Tournament, but I know Jack's going to talk about that. And then in October, we have some things planned that are not on our website yet, but October 12th, John Lout has graciously allowed us to have an event at his hotel. I saw him here at the Spring Hill Suites. It's going to be a game night. That's the best way I can say that, in quotation marks. Anyways, it's a $10 buy-in for the game night, if you catch my drift. And then in November, we're looking to have a trivia night, and December, coffee. So look for those things, and please join us for all our social events. We'd love to get to know you on a more personal level. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just a quick update on the golf tournament. We're making great strides. We've picked up some very big sponsors so far, so things are moving along nicely. We will have our next committee meeting, not Wednesday, where we've been doing it, but Thursday of this week at Cleveland Heights at 5:15. But President Nate has agreed to let me add something to the meetings between now and the end until we have the tournament. And that is that next week, starting next week at the back table, $5 raffle ticket. We'll pull one ticket at the end of the meeting, and that person will get to come up here for a 40-foot putt. And if you make the putt, you get half price dues next year. So chance to drum up some excitement about the tournament, chance for you to get a deal on dues, and get some folks interested in the tournament. So start looking for that. We'll have a little bucket back there. We'll have a left-handed and a right-handed putter for those of you that putt from the wrong side of the ball. And we'll go from there. But we're looking forward to it. And please don't forget, bring your basket of cheer donations to the meeting or to Trey's office, which is right across from Carlton Palmore Elementary. Thank you.
very quickly piggybacking on the golf thing and to help Gene, this snappy looking hat has Rotary emblem on it. For the first 24 in-club volunteers that sign up and show up the day of the tournament, you get a complimentary hat. Okay, so sign up with Gene, show up that day, get a hat. We recently had a couple of previous club members donate some of their shirts back to the club. So this is the only ladies that I have. There are some shirts over here if you have an interest to take a look at them. We're going to sell them for $20 a piece. They're all in great shape. And so we offer that to you. And finally, if anybody has a need for a 4-drawer metal file cabinet, about 5 feet tall, we cleaned out a storage area. We're going to give it away. If you have any use for it, see me, we'll get it to you.
All right, thank you, everybody. As you can see, we've got quite a bit going on with the club, so please get involved any way you can. We'd love to have you. And now for one of the great things I get to do is induct new members into the club. So if the following folks would come up with their sponsors: Brendan, Richard, Scott, and Cody. And while they're coming up, I'll read a few fun facts about these guys. Brendan comes from a strong military family and was born on Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada. Has a passion for music, art, playing drums and the guitar since he was 10 years old. And it's on his bucket list to visit all 7 continents. He went to UCF and served as vice president of philanthropy for his Greek organization and organized annual events to raise a little over $50,000 for Autism Speaks in a 2-year span. Richard Wydick represented Lakeland in a city's exchange with, I'm going to say this wrong, Imabari, Japan. And he went and stayed with local families, met the mayor, was on the radio, and taught English to adults. He was a member of a Theta Chi fraternity where he served as vice president and president during his time at Florida Southern. And as he already told you, he's getting ready to graduate with his master's this December. Scott is a commercial banker with Wauchula State Bank. He's been married for 35 years to Lori Katz. He has 2 daughters, Stephanie and Victoria. His hobbies include fantasy football, hiking, and cruising. Favorite places to hike are Montana, Oregon, Utah, and Washington State. His bucket list is a 7-day whitewater rafting trip through the Grand Canyon. And his favorite places for a sporting event are Lambeau Field, Notre Dame Stadium, and Wrigley Field. And lastly, but not least, Cody Sheik, born and raised in, this is not a typo, Atlanta, Illinois, where his grandfather was a Rotarian for many years. And he's an identical twin, so I'm guessing they were born the same day. He also resides in Lakeland, and he even says they look alike. So look at that. He's a lifelong Chicago Cubs fan. All right. So, Brendan, Richard, Scott, and Cody, it is my pleasure to welcome you into the Lakeland Rotary Club. You are joining the oldest service organization in the world, an institution begun in 1905 by Paul Harris and 3 other businessmen in Chicago. Today, Rotarians number 1.2 million members in 34,000 clubs in more than 200 countries. The Lakeland Rotary Club was founded in 1918, the 6th club in Florida. For the past 103 years, this club has served this community and others throughout the world in need, growing its current membership to nearly 200 members, one of the largest in the state. You are joining a club with a proud tradition and continuing commitment to service above self. We invite you to get to know all of our members through fellowship and service and have a little fun while doing it. You'll be provided the opportunity to learn about our community through weekly programs and serve on various committees dedicated to Rotary's ideals. Whether you prefer local or international service projects, you will have ample opportunities to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our newest Rotarians. And just because we have 2 Chicago Cubs fans here, you get an extra dad joke. So you guys know the difference between a Tropicana Field hot dog and a Wrigley Field hot dog? You can buy a Tropicana hot dog in October. It's tough. All right. And now I'm going to call up Rick Maxey to introduce our program.
You're mean. Thank you, Mr. President. I actually had the pleasure of working with today's guest speaker, so it's an honor to be able to introduce her. Ashley Cheek is Vice President of Business Development at the Lakeland Economic Development Council, or LEDC, since 2016, and came from Publix as a property manager. In her current role, Ashley is the first point of contact for prospects, developers, brokers, and site selectors looking at Lakeland as a place. In addition to being a resource for new industry, Ashley builds relationships with existing industry and LEDC members, identifying their needs for growth and a healthy business environment. She was born and raised in Lakeland. I think she's the third person I've met like that. She attended college at Stanford University and moved back to Lakeland in 2012. She and her husband, one of our newest Rotarians, Cody, are involved in their local church body, the King's Church. Please welcome our guest speaker for today, Ashley Cheek.
Well, good afternoon. It is great to be with you all. I'm thrilled to be here. I've heard wonderful things about this whole group from my husband, Cody, over the last few weeks. I'm just going to clip this on I'll be speaking a little bit longer. So I just wanted to give you all a quick overview of the LEDC. So for those of you all who may not be familiar with who we are as an organization, just want to give you a quick overview of who we are and what we do. So the LEDC is a private nonprofit economic development council. And we have about 140 member companies who are paying members of the LEDC. And our main goal is to recruit new businesses to Lakeland and help existing businesses expand. And so the goal of that is really to see new jobs created, more capital investment coming into our community. And we are about 95% privately funded. So going into some of our initiatives, we have a high skill, high wage group of investors. Really wanted to highlight this. Rick has actually been able to be a part of this group during his time at Florida Polytechnic. And a big thing that this group does is they take city visits every few years. And so we have visited over 11 cities. This photo in the background is the group back in 2018 in Greenville, South Carolina. So the goal of these city visits is to really take a group of community leaders to other cities and throughout the US, see what they're doing and what can we bring back to Lakeland? What are their best practices when in regards to higher education, downtown development and redevelopment, economic development practices? What are they doing? What are some innovative practices that other cities are doing that we can bring back and bring to fruition here in Lakeland? So some of those initiatives that we brought back are some talent recruitment initiatives. So the Summer Leadership Program is something that the LEDC has done for over 10 years now. So this is a program that is targeted to 18 to 30-year-olds. And we do it every summer. We have two separate programs, or each are 5-week programs. And the whole goal is to really try to capture the age range of 18 to 30-year-olds, the college students that are graduating from our 5 local colleges and universities here. How can we get them to stay in Lakeland? So we really want to introduce them to other people their age, get them connected. And we also want to introduce them to leaders in the community, to industry in the community. This program is actually the reason that I decided to move back to Lakeland. So in 2011, I actually was an intern. I helped run the Summer Leadership Program. I had already told myself I was never moving back to my hometown. I had plans to move to Atlanta after graduation. So in the summer of 2011, I actually went through this program. I was like, there's so many amazing things happening in Lakeland. There's so much industry here. And it really opened my eyes to see the growth that's happening. And I actually was able to meet my husband, Cody, that summer. So just a fun little story. But we love doing this. We've had about 700 people go through the program. So we're excited and hopeful to see more people choose to stay in Lakeland. Another thing that we also partnered with LAL Today. So on the city visit to Greenville, South Carolina, we were connected with a company called 6 a.m. City. And this is a company that focuses on targeted markets. And they send out newsletters every day at 6 a.m. So how many of you all are subscribed to LAL Today? Oh, a lot of you. So this is a great way to get connected with what is happening in Lakeland on a daily basis. And so this is a fun partnership that the LEDC was able to do, and we really see it as a talent recruitment initiative. It's a great way for companies to send this out to their employees and help really get them connected to the community. And then lastly, our entrepreneur initiative is Catapult Lakeland. So we actually just had our grand opening last Monday. So this is our entrepreneur center that started back in 2014. We just moved into a new 40,000 square foot facility on Lake Mirror. So this again was actually something that came from a city visit. You know, the group of investors that would go visit other communities kept seeing entrepreneur incubators and what they were doing for those communities. And they thought, let's try this here in Lakeland. And so that's kind of how Catapult was formed. It's privately funded, and they have about 200 entrepreneurs that are currently a part of the space right now. So moving on to the exciting part of the presentation, I want to highlight development activity that has happened over the last 12 to 15 months. So companies that are moving here, existing industries that are expanding. I want to highlight some fun announcements that that is happening here in Lakeland. So I wanted to start with speculative development. We have seen a large increase in speculative development happening in Lakeland over the last 5 to 7 years. And for those of you all who are not familiar with what speculative development is, it's when a developer comes in and builds a space without an end user. So they're building the space in hopes that someone will come and lease the entire space. And so we see this as a huge advantage for our community when trying to recruit new industry here. You know, having available product and property is such a big piece of economic development, because when a company knocks on our door and they say, hey, we want to open a 200,000 square foot manufacturing facility, we have the space that we can point them to for them to bring their company here. So starting off, Center State Logistics East is a project that actually just finished construction. It is on directly on Interstate 4 and State Road 33. So if you're driving out past Florida Polytechnic, if you're driving east, it would be on your left-hand side. And so this is actually our largest speculative warehouse that's ever been built in Lakeland. Brennan Investment is a developer that has had a lot of success here, specifically in the State Road 33 area. So 1 million square feet, they've had a lot of interest in this space. We've seen a large increase in e-commerce users. So we're hopeful to have this leased up very soon. Lakeland Central Park. This is actually a project that we just broke ground on. So Parkway Properties is a developer from the Orlando area. They purchased 700 acres just off of the Polk Parkway. So kind of behind the Rooms to Go warehouse off of Airport Road and behind Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits. So if you're heading out towards Interstate 4 on the Polk Parkway, this would be on your right-hand side, just past Publix Corporate. So they have up to 5 million square feet that they can build out on this property. But they're starting off with a 708,000 square foot spec warehouse. Quebec County Line Logistics. This is a 404,000 square foot warehouse that is just off of County Line, directly behind the O'Reilly Auto Parts facility. So they just completed construction. They're actually in talks with the user right now. So we're hoping to have this leased up in just a few weeks. And then the Lakeland North Business Center. So this is on 92, directly across from Kathleen High School. So these are two separate buildings. They total about 300,000 square feet together. But this is a great space. It's located directly, right off of Interstate 4. So it's great for users trying to get in and out of the interstate. But we're just excited to see some more development in that area. So going into some distribution users. HCA Healthcare. So many of you all may be familiar with the HCA Healthcare system. HCA has several hospitals throughout Florida. They have about 40 in the Central Florida area. And they actually came to us last year and they were wanting to put their entire distribution facility here in Lakeland. So this was a warehouse that was completed in May of 2020, and it was built on a speculative basis. So we just talked about spec warehouses before. This building was just completing construction, and we had HCA come to us and say, we want to take the entire space. So they leased 712,000 square feet. 200,000 square feet of that space is actually used for pharmaceuticals. So they will have PPE gear, pharmaceuticals, and medical devices coming in and out of this space. So they're currently working on build out right now, and they're also planning on hiring 200 new jobs. Just up the road from that is Amazon's new delivery center. So this is off of State Road 33. If any of you are familiar with the old mud hole in the Polk City area, this is actually located directly on the old mud hole. And they, again, this was a speculative developer that came in, built this warehouse, 713,000 square feet. Before construction was even completed, Amazon had leased the entire space. Amazon has been very active in the Central Florida market. They have leased over 5 million square feet of space along the I-4 corridor between Tampa and Orlando. So they're growing like crazy, specifically, with everything that has happened over the last year. Premier Transportation. This is a company from Atlanta. They have been in the Lakeland market for many years now. And this is actually an expansion for them. So they're located off of South Pipkin Road. So they're going from about 100,000 square feet to 200,000 square feet. So they're doubling in size. They're a third-party logistics company. So they do logistics for other companies throughout the area. And this is located just on Drainfield Road. So if you're heading west on Drainfield to County Line Road, this would be on the right-hand side. And just next door to that property is Motion Industries. So Motion Industries is actually an industrial supplier. They were in Plant City. They needed to expand, and we had the space. This was actually another speculative warehouse that was available for them to come in and lease 116,000 square feet of space. Life Science Logistics. So this is on Galloway Road, just behind Brew Hub and IGT. So if you're familiar with the park where Brew Hub is off of the interstate, if you keep going around the corner to Galloway Road, this is a new 100,000 square foot building that Life Science just leased. And this was actually a deal that Governor DeSantis was involved in. So it's a pharmaceutical deal, and they are bringing in Canadian pharmaceuticals in order to lower the cost of medicine here in Florida. And so this is a deal that Governor DeSantis accomplished back in May, and Life Science is currently bringing in their product to the space now. Manufacturing. So manufacturing is one of our favorite industries. I know Joel Ivy loves manufacturers because they're a large water and power user. So we have a lot of existing industries that are expanding in this industry right now. So starting off, Keymark is actually in the process of expanding their facility off of Kathleen Road. They are an aluminum extrusion fabricator, and so they're in the process of working on this expansion right now. Surterra, this might be a little controversial, but this is a medical marijuana manufacturer that is located on Drainfield Road. So Surterra's parent company, Live Parallel, they're located in California, but we had I believe their name was Sunshine Growers. They were a plant grower here in Lakeland. They sold their business to Parallel. And so Surterra has grown significantly. They are also a very large water and power user. And they're in the process of adding another $47 million expansion in the Drainfield Road area. Cedrina's Bakery. So Lakeland is known for being a big hub of food manufacturers. You know, having public supermarkets headquartered here, having all of their manufacturing facilities here has been a big attractor for other food manufacturers. So Cedrina is a manufacturer from Puerto Rico. We were connected with them a couple years ago, and they wanted to open a facility here in the US, and they chose Lakeland. So they just completed their build out of their space. It's located off of County Line Road, about 47,000 square feet of space. I believe Kroger and Walmart are their big customers, but it would be awesome if they would get into Publix too. Their bread is amazing. Steripack. So Steripack is an Irish company that moved to Lakeland back in 2013. They're a medical packaging company, so they're medical manufacturing. Over the last year, they have been focused on manufacturing nose swabs for COVID-19 testing. And so this has been a huge expansion for them. They have outgrown their current space significantly. So they're actually planning on doubling in size and building another 40,000 square foot building just next door to where they are now. BrewHub, so I mentioned BrewHub earlier. So this is located just off of Interstate 4. They are a craft beer manufacturer. So they're here in Lakeland. They've been here since 2014. And what they do is they have licenses with beer companies all across the Central Florida area. People who might not have the space and the capacity to grow their beer business can come to BrewHub and they can actually manufacture their beer for them. So they're growing significantly. People still love to drink during COVID-19. And just next door, IGT is a lottery ticket manufacturer, and they have the largest lottery ticket printing press in the world here in Lakeland. So again, when I say manufacturers are great, they're great because they're investing so much capital investment in equipment. So when they move that equipment into Lakeland, they are not going to pick up and move a $20 million machine very easily. So we love to see manufacturers move here because they typically will plant roots here and stay in our community for a very long time. So IGT has been here since 2009. They have grown several times. And so they're adding $10 million in capital investment into their space currently. RGF Environmental, I touched on medical manufacturing. So RGF is another medical manufacturer that moved to Lakeland during 2020. They actually moved in the Interstate Business Park just off of Kathleen Road. And so they manufacture UV light filtration systems. So they can sell these UV light filtration systems to customers who want to put them in their home or to hospitals or medical offices. This is really a way to filter their air systems, for dust, allergies, and viruses. And then ACI, so Advanced Concepts Innovation. They are a medical manufacturing company that has been in Lakeland for a very long time. And over the last year, they have actually manufactured over 90 million N95 masks here in Lakeland. So they are also located out at Interstate Commerce Park, just behind BrewHub and IGT. Pretty amazing that that is happening here in Lakeland. So if you see the duck-looking mask, it is coming from Lakeland, Florida. Moving into the office industry. As you all know, Publix supermarkets expanded their corporate office. They actually completed construction at the beginning of this year, started bringing a lot of their employees back to the office and filling in that space. So it was 190,000 square feet of space and about 65 million in capital investment. This project also created 700 new jobs. Summit Consulting, they're currently under construction with their office on Lake Mirror. So they're moving from their office in South Lakeland down to the core of downtown. So this is 500 new jobs in the core of downtown. And we see that as a huge advantage for all of our downtown employers, or for employers and small businesses. This is also a $50 million capital investment. Aviation, Power, and Marine. So this is a group from South Florida that actually just moved their corporate team up to Lakeland. So they bought a building off of State Road 33, and they actually help manufacture and build wind turbines. So they actually moved part of their R&D here to Lakeland, and their executive team is here as well. Metric. So I mentioned medical marijuana earlier. Metric is actually an IT solution company that supports the medical marijuana industry. So what they do is they help tag, they tag products, so medical marijuana product, and they follow that product through its entire life. So from manufacturing to when they receive it at the store and when an end user buys that. So they have their IT back office here in Lakeland. So these are very high skill, high wage, high paying jobs. And they actually just expanded their office by an additional 10,000 square feet of space. Moving into aviation. So Gene Conrad is our airport director. He has done a phenomenal job attracting new industry to the airport. All of these industries are very high paying jobs. So we're excited to see our airport continue to grow. As many of you know, Amazon Air Cargo moved here last summer. They have been very active in our market, and we are excited to have them here. Very large capital investment, $150 million. This project also created 1,000 new jobs. Just next door, or really just kind of across the airport, NOAA Hurricane Hunters, they have their office here, and their hub for all their airplanes are here in Lakeland. So they actually came to Lakeland back in 2017, and they're actually in the process of expanding their facility. But again, all very high paying jobs. They're very busy right now with the storms going on. So I'm sure you've seen their planes flying in and out of Lakeland. Just next door to NOAA Hurricane Hunters is Draken International. Draken is a very unique company. So they moved here in 2009, and they're known for buying old military fighter jets from militaries all across the world, bringing them back here to Lakeland. They refurbish them, and they actually have a private contract with our U.S. military. So they train our Navy and our Air Force and as they prepare for combat. So they take these planes, once they refurbish them, they fly them out of Lakeland to Nevada, and then they essentially act like the bad guy in a fake combat to help train our military. But their headquarters are here in Lakeland. They're actually doubling in size. They're adding 150 new jobs. And again, these are all very high paying jobs. So a quick recap. I know we talked about a lot of exciting projects that are happening, but about 23 projects, new industry expansions, 3.5 million square feet, about 1,800 new jobs created, and 220 million in capital investment. So I will stand for any questions. Sure. Yes.
Of the 1,800 new jobs, how many of those do you call high skill, high wage?
That's a great question. So he asked, of the 1,800 new jobs, how many are high skill, high wage jobs? I would say probably about 30 to 40%. Between all of the aviation projects that have happened, between public supermarkets expanding their headquarters, those are all very high skill, high wage. And when we say high skill, high wage, the state considers Polk County's average wage to be about $50,000. And so when we see companies bringing in jobs at 150%, that's really between 65 to 90,000. And so that's what I'm kind of referring to when I say high skill, high wage. Yes.
Okay, this is a question from one of our participants on Zoom.
Sure.
Growth projection is aggressive and it's all good for Lakeland. Do you have any perspective on what we're doing to have the housing market and infrastructure and others around to support that growth?
Sure. That's a great question. So just to repeat that, what are we doing to help with the infrastructure to help with this development growth as far as housing? So that is something that I think we're just always going to be a little bit behind on. I will say we have never really worked with multifamily developers in the past. In the last 12 months, we have had more multifamily developers coming to our office and calling us more than ever. So we have a large interest in apartment developers. I think people are starting to see Lakeland on the map from a national perspective. So we're getting the attention of these developers. And I think that we have a long way to grow. We certainly need more workforce housing, more multifamily, and even just single family housing. I think we all realize that our market is very hot right now. We have a lot of people moving to the Lakeland area. So we could certainly benefit from more single family houses as well. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you all so much for having me. I've had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate it. It's always great to get an update on our city. It seems like our little city's growing up. So please accept this as a small token of our appreciation. Okay, and now with 50-50, Eric Powell. So if you'll just draw a ticket while he does that. I'd like to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians, David, Tanya, Steve, Cody, and our visiting Rotarians, Debbie and Gay. Are you really a visiting Rotarian or just coming home? All right. Welcome back, Gay. All right, ticket. Last four digits, 7478. Mr. Salmons. Okay, and for the bad dad joke of the day, that's why you guys all showed up. Did you hear about the guy that sued the airline for losing his luggage? He lost his case. And with that, we are adjourned.